Today I'm going to launch a wheelchair down a runway at max speeds to see how fast it can go. This video is inspired by Martin C. Topant's Kerbal Space Program video about beating the land speed record. So big thanks to him for the inspiration, make sure you go and check out his channel, and let's get into the action. So now I've finished the wheelchair and we're just going to test its top speed on the runway. I'm going to be using DCS runway 27 for these tests, and we will record its top speed as soon as it's off the end of the runway. So I haven't modified these wheels in any ways other than visually, and as you can see this thing is zooming. This is already probably faster than the world's fastest wheelchair.
Nice.
And the unmodified wheelchair is going to cross the line at a very respectable 111 meters per second. As this is our first run, this is going to be our #1 fastest craft at this moment. So how do we make it go faster? Well, we're playing a rocket game, so the smartest idea is to just smack a solid rocket motor on the back of this thing. First of all, I decided to use a amateur solid rocket motor that is at its max thrust. Also bear in mind, I'm not using Tinkerpanel to make engines more powerful or to make the crafts unfairly ranked. So here we go, we've set off with the amateur solid rocket motor. As you can see, I also had to widen the two front and back wheels on the wheelchair to make it more stable so that the wheelchair wouldn't spin out while it was firing its engine. And this wheelchair will cross the finish line at 156 meters per second, giving it supreme supremacy over the completely unmodified wheelchair. For this one, I decided to add the booster variant of the solid rocket motor. This solid rocket motor is extremely small, but very powerful, and when I used it with maxed out nozzle throat size, it was too uncontrollable because it was way too powerful. So I made it significantly less powerful, and it worked. It kind of reminds me of one of those plane crash tests where they send a plane on a massive rail straight into a concrete wall. Its speed when crossing the finish line was 472 meters per second, which was a very strong start. This means that once again this solid rocket motor is going to take first place over the other ones. This time I decided to go off course a little bit, and I'm going to use the most powerful jet engine I can make. And this engine is very massive. If you were sitting in front of it like our Druid is here, you would probably be pulled in. Luckily for us though, he is stuck to that seat and he is not coming off of it. So let's get this thing on the runway and give it a spin. I assume this engine is extremely slow because it's weight. And crossing the finish line, we're going to get a speed of 252 meters per second, meaning that it's going to take second place. So naturally I wanted more speed, so I strapped the largest solid rocket motor ever flown on the back. This is probably the dumbest idea I've ever had, but I thought it would be funny, and it wasn't as funny as I thought, but it was pretty interesting what the results were. So let's send this beast downrange. As you can see, it's going actually quite slow, and this is most likely because it's so heavy, and it also has quite a lot of ground friction. And crossing the finish line here, the SLS booster will make 340 meters per second. Which will once again mean it will be taking second place from the jet engine. I'm actually not surprised that this didn't take first place because the other solid rocket motor we used was significantly smaller, so it had less mass. For the last one, I decided to make the largest possible liquid engine, or in fact the most powerful liquid engine. And this one kind of blew me away, I won't lie. You know, let's just test it, just see how fast it really is. And yeah, as you can see, this thing is going from 0 to 60 in minus infinity. It is in fact so fast that I had to slow down the recording just so I could see the frame of when it passed the runway. So, clocking in at 1,375 meters a second, this engine will shatter first place. There are definitely other ways you can go super fast in some rockets too, for example using cannons and other such things. So if you'd like me to make another video which is less engine focused, say so in the comments. I quite enjoyed making this video, so I hope you enjoyed watching it. Tell me how you feel about the new design of the thumbnails in the comments too also. And of course, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.